morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch and crochet now, but also other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life thrown in. So today is FlossTube number 250, and it's Sunday, July 14th. I can't believe we're almost halfway through July already. Oh, I started talking. Guess who just trotted over here? Of course, because come here. Can you hear him? You guys know, like, he was over there sleeping contentedly, and he heard me start my floss tube and he had to come over. And I know that it is definitely like purposeful on his part, because I was sitting here a little bit ago, like doing my notes for the video, and then I got up to eat some toast. And when I was over here doing my notes, he came over and he was right here. And then when I went over there to eat my toast, he moved and he went and lay down. And then, you know, I came back over here to start the video, and yep, he's Johnny on the spot. So for those of you who are new to the channel, this is my black cat Bagheera, my big fat huge 20-pound black cat Bagheera, who is my roommate and my friend, right? Yeah, he makes frequent appearances here on my channel. He makes frequent appearances in the form of specialty fibers on all of my projects. And yeah, he's a big part of my life. So I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope that you like what you see, want to hit like and subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you are a regular viewer, thank you so much for coming by. You guys hopefully know by now how much I enjoy having you and talking to you and getting comments from you, all that stuff. I want to put a big thank you out there to Julie M, who sent me a lovely little gifty this week through PayPal. I do have the super thanks button listed below. I hate doing like the little commercial thing and everything, but you know, it's a good thing to let you guys know. Doing FlossTube takes a lot of time and energy, and sometimes it costs too. So it's nice to get, sorry for itchy. You start a FlossTube or YouTube, as soon as you turn your camera on, all the little ends of you itch. But anyway, it is so nice when I get a little bit of monetary thanks, and thank you, Julie, for thinking of me. That was really unexpected and great. So yeah, there's a super thanks button below, although I did find out if you do use the super thanks, you're giving me half of what you give, and you're giving the rest to Amazon and YouTube. So if you did it through PayPal, then you're actually giving me the whole thing. But either way, it's not required. It's never expected, but it is so sweet when somebody thinks of me that way. So thank you in advance. So today, I said it was Sunday, July 14th, right? Yeah. So I want to give a big happy birthday in 2 days to my brother, Aaron. His birthday's on Tuesday. So I showed you guys the dad notes little thing that I made for him. I did get it out in the mail last week, so hopefully he will get it. I'm thinking he's gonna get it on his birthday, or he's gonna get it tomorrow, but hopefully he likes it. It's a little thing. I feel like kind of where I'm at in my life right now, birthday gifts and gifts in general to people are things that have to kind of come from my heart and my creativity, not so much my wallet, because you know, I mean, I have a little bit of discretionary money, but not a ton. So, you know, and I always feel like it's hit or miss when you make somebody a gift. A lot of thought and energy and love does go into it on my end, but, you know, sometimes handmade gifts are the best, and sometimes people just don't get it. So, but hopefully he will enjoy that. I think my brother knows me well enough and knows the extent of the effort that goes into it to appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, I'm supposed to have lunch with Julie today. Julie's stitching at the cabin, which I'm very excited about. It's been like so long since we've seen each other. I mean, we text actually. We don't actually talk on the phone or anything, but we do text several times a week. And so I am looking forward to seeing her. Hopefully, she has been having some migraine issues lately, so hopefully she's feeling good today and she'll let me know. But the plan is to meet up for lunch at our Panera, and so I'm looking forward to that. I do have, I mean, I guess I could show you this in crochet, but as long as I'm talking about her, I told you I was making scrunchies for her and Alyssa. So this is the one that Julie requested as far as colors. And then Alyssa requested this, and it's funny, I think this yarn, I mean, they're both cotton. This one is just a tiny bit thicker, so it came out just like a tiny bit bigger, it seems. And then I wanted to make something for the baby, not the new baby because it's a new baby, but for the old baby, as Julie says. But she has very, very, very wispy hair, so making her something like this wasn't gonna work. Now I know that you can make like baby hair accessories using Velcro. I could not find my little sewing case. It's somewhere in my mess that has like Velcro in it. So I made, okay, I'm covered in baggy hair now. I made this little blossom. I made it to match Alyssa's. So, I mean, it may work, it may not work. And I kind of attached it to a little alligator clip. So I figured if they put her hair in a little wispy ponytail, then they can attach this around the ponytail. But I just made a little blossom. So, you know, they can have matching hair things. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if it's going to be too cheesy, but, you know, I tried. So I am going to bring those with me when I go see Julie today. So I am looking forward to hanging out and chit-chatting for a good several hours like we always do. Let's see. Oh, in other news, I know I told you guys last week there was a couple things that were like falling apart in my apartment. My closet door fell off the track and my toilet has been running, and I did get maintenance to come out. I had to take a day off from work. I guess I didn't have to take a day off from work. Let me clarify. They will come into your apartment if you give them permission. I do not want them to because the idea of having people in my apartment when I'm not here icks me out. But on top of that, it's not fair to Baggy. And Baggy is an indoor cat. He has been outside, I think, like twice in his life. He is definitely an indoor cat, but he's also a very like anti-strangers cat. He wasn't always like this, but as time has gone on and, you know, I have had less people over, you know, pandemic and et cetera, he is very not welcoming to strangers. So in other words, if somebody walks in my apartment that isn't me, he hides most of the time. Now, if I have a friend over and they're sitting there and they're there for a couple hours and they sit quietly and they, you know, shake the treat jar, then he'll come out, he'll make friends, and then once he's comfortable, he's fine. And actually I was really surprised when I went on vacation once with Erin and Stacy and the kids. Erin came up here to take my suitcase for me, and Baggy was like lying on my bed, and Erin walked in and he didn't run. He just kind of looked at him and he let Erin pet him. So he probably recognized him, or just because I was standing next to him, he was okay. But I felt so bad when the maintenance guy came this past week. I didn't think anything of it, and I let him go ahead of me, and he walked into the bathroom. Baggy was in there because that's where his water dishes he was drinking, and oh my god, the guy went, "Oh, oops," and Baggy comes like streaking out of the bathroom and dives under the chair to one of his little spots, and he was like, "Oh no," and I felt really bad because normally I would be like, "Okay, Baggy, somebody's coming." I forgot to like say anything, and I forgot to warn the guy, and I let him go ahead of me. So Baggy was a teeny bit traumatized there for the moment, but it all turned out okay. And my toilet is working now, and my closet is running smoothly. So that is all very nice. So yeah, so that was basically, you know, the excitement for the week. I was supposed to have a D&D game with Aaron this past week, and we ended up postponing it because I was just running late that day. And, you know, we are 3 hours different. So he's starting at like 9, and, you know, for me it's 6, but that means like right after I get home from work, and, you know, I have to pick up something to eat if I want to eat. And, you know, it's very chaotic. And I was a little bit late at work that day because it just was busy last week. You know, it's the beginning of the quarter. And, so I texted him and I'm like, you know, I just don't think I can make it today. It's just crazy time-wise, and, you know, and I want to be able to relax and enjoy. I don't want to be rushing and then sit down and it's like I'm scattered and I can't enjoy it. So we rescheduled it for Wednesday. We're not going to do Tuesday because that's Aaron's birthday, so I'm sure he has plans to do something with his family. So we're going to do it Wednesday instead. So I think that's about it as far as preamble. Yeah, I mean, you know, weather. I'm going to tell you guys about the weather. Yeah, it's the same. We're having a little bit, it's like overcast and muggy a lot. Mid to high 80s. I thought I was going to come on here and tell you like, oh, the temperature's going down to low 80s all week. But then when I looked at the weather report, it looks like it's going up. It's going to be in the 90s towards the end of the week. So, you know, I don't know. You know, the weather reports change hourly. And sometimes I feel like bad because I know some places in the country are having really severe hot weather. And I would say our weather is hot, but not severe hot. It's just kind of normal hot. Excuse me. I feel like my lips are all dried out and it's a little bit bothering me. So forgive me while I hydrate. Aren't these cute? I got these set of lip smackers and I gave some to my coworkers, and I kept the flavors that bring me back to junior high school. Yeah, so I mean, we're having typical hot weather. So yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary, but you know, it's still hot and it's not super comfortable when it gets up into the mid to high 80s and above. It definitely not in my apartment in the afternoon. I've explained that to you. Okay, so let's get on to showing you the projects. Just like last week, I have a lot of crochet stuff to show you. I've been very into crochet the last several weeks. You know what? I'm going with the flow. I love stitching, but you know, Stitchy Bug, it waxes and wanes, and now I have this other craft in the mix, and they sort of just flow together. So some days I feel like doing a lot of crochet, or some weeks, and some weeks I don't feel like doing any crochet and I feel like doing a lot of stitching, and you know, so we're just gonna go with it. So I did get my temperature blanket square for June finished, so let me show that to you. Very colorful for June. Definitely you can see like the change in the temps, that it started out cooler, and then definitely moved through the 70s and 80s. So yeah. So June was very colorful. I believe July is going to be mostly these two colors. If it gets over 90, then we'll have this hot pink. If it gets over 95, we'll add another color, but I don't know. So far the forecast isn't showing that. So so we will see. Speaking of temperature blanket, Joann's was having a doorbuster sale on the Simply Soft that I'm using for this blanket, and then I'm planning on using next year for my Strawberry Patch blanket. So I did kind of put in an order to kind of get the Strawberry Patch blanket going. And when I was thinking about it, I kind of had an epiphany, if you will, that because the strawberries, so the stitch that I'm planning on using, I didn't make this up. This is, you know, something I saw online and then I'm adapting it. But the stitch itself is not something that I made up. So The strawberry stitch is like done in basically like 2 rows. So you do a row of your strawberries. So those are going to be the red and the pink colors. It's going to be my high temperature. And I guess it's like, this isn't going to make sense if you don't crochet, but if you crochet, maybe you'll be able to follow along. It's like, you know, a bobble stitch where you're stitching the double crochets or whatever they are. I'm not even sure if they're half double crochets or double crochets or what, but you're stitching a bunch of them in one hole, in one stitch below, so that, you know, it fans out and makes the strawberry. And then you go back with a green to make the green part the hull. And it's kind of the opposite, where you're stitching anyway, I'm losing my words as to how to explain it. The point is that you stitch a row of your red color, your strawberry color, and then you go back and stitch a row of your green to make the hulls. And because of the way it's done, the strawberries kind of pop out, and it comes kind of like a 3D sort of look. But again, to make the whole row, it's really 2 rows. So that got me thinking, well, then I could do the high temperatures in the reds and pinks and the strawberry colors, and I could actually do the low temperatures in the green. Now, I'm not going to use as many colors. So my high temperatures, like with this blanket, I have, I think, 11 colors, and I'm doing them by like 5-degree intervals between I have my lowest as 50 to 54, which this year we hit that, I think, 1 or 2 days. And then the highest is 100 plus. I don't know if we'll hit it or not. So that's what I'm doing this year. And I'm going to basically do the same thing for next year for the strawberry, the same intervals. I mean, obviously different colors. I'm not going to use 11 colors for the low temperatures. I think I'm going to use 3, and I'm going to have like 15-degree increments. So I'll have like a lighter green, a true like Kelly green is going to be the main one, and then a dark green. So all that will do is that it will show a little bit of change in like the low temperatures. I don't know. I figured as long as I'm having to do the green on top of, anyway, I think it's going to be cute. I think it's gonna be cool. So I'm really excited about that idea, obviously. So I'm getting it prepared now so that I will be ready to kind of like start it. Now the way I'm doing the temperature blanket now is, obviously, I'm printing them out monthly, and then so the next month I'm doing it. I might like print it out weekly or something next year, just because I think that the blanket is going to be a little bit more difficult to do, more stitches involved kind of thing. But I was wondering if anybody would be interested in kind of doing some kind of like a, I don't know, temperature blanket, crochet along or stitch along. It doesn't have to be crochet. It could be knit, it could be crochet, it could even be a temperature blanket stitch. I'm just wondering if anybody would be interested in doing something kind of where we're posting together or having Zooms related to that or anything like that, because I'm excited about the idea of my blanket. If anybody's interested in doing what I'm doing, my strawberry patch, I could definitely kind of put together what I'm doing and let you know. I'm not a designer. This is sort of like ideas put together, not, but let me know if you're interested in kind of joining with me, and I'll see if it's worth it to like formalize it or anything like that. I am excited about it though, as you can probably tell. Okay, so that was my temperature blanket for this year, or for this week. I also did work on the triangle blanket, which I've shown you guys. I didn't do a ton on it. Oops. Come on. Okay. So, let's see. So this was the first triangle with the green at the bottom. And then it went into the second triangle, and then I'm working on the third right now. So there we go. So it's kind of, I mean, it's not going to be a huge blanket, right? It's going to be kind of just a little lappy sort of throw, but I'm enjoying doing this. Again, I'm using the Lion Brand Homespun. This pattern was created for the Homespun, so it was a free pattern on the Lion Brand website. And for me, it's a perfect sort of blanket because it's triangles. So as you go up, you know, the rows get shorter and shorter. So it keeps me going. It's like I'm not getting as bored. And because I have chosen to do it in this kind of striped way, that also is good for my brain, my attention span, to not get bored and, you know, not get tired of it. So I do work on that a little bit. Okay. Then, what else did I work on? Well, I am a basket case, is what I'm saying, and I'm saying that kind of tongue-in-cheek. You guys know that since I started crocheting, I really enjoyed crocheting baskets. Different kinds of baskets, different techniques. I've done several with like bulky yarn. I most recently did this one. You know, that's all one yarn. And then I've done a couple. If I move this, is it gonna crash everything? I did this. I kind of created a little lid for it. It's not looking perfect right now because. But anyway, so I've done several baskets. I've showed you guys. And I don't know, I really like baskets. I guess it's the functionality of it. They go pretty quick. So I was watching YouTube yesterday while I was like stitching and crocheting and stuff. And I've looked it up like 3 times so I would remember to tell you guys. Pretty something. Shoot, I'll have to attach it below. My brain. Anyway, she was making a market basket. She had a tutorial. And the thing that I really liked about her basket, about the idea is that she made a basket using 7 strands of just assorted yarn. So it's basically like a scrap buster. Now, I don't have a ton of, let's say, scraps right now because, you know, I haven't been crocheting that long. But what I do have is a lot of, single skeins of stuff that I got because when I first started crocheting and I'm excited about it, it's like I want to see different things and try them out. And that's great for certain things. And when I was doing amigurumi, which I'm not saying I'm not going to go back and do more amigurumi because I really enjoyed it. You don't need a lot of any one color. So I did buy some, sets of little balls and stuff like that. But I had or have a lot of single, a Ferris wheel, a green Ferris wheel, and you know, singles of a lot of different things. And you can't necessarily do a lot with a single unless it's going to be make a toy or something like that. But her thing with this market basket is, and she had 2 sizes. I think the baskets that I'm going to end up making are going to be more you know, baskets, table baskets to put stuff in. She put handles, short handles if you want to carry it around, or long handles if you actually want to carry it as a market basket. I don't know what I'm going to do with the handles yet. I haven't decided. But the thing is that her pattern calls for 7 strands. So basically you're creating a bulky yarn out of 7 strands of thinner yarn. And it doesn't matter, it can all be different weights, they can all be different whatever. She basically, what she said, and I'm sure she, you know, she's a designer, so I'm sure she has a ton of scraps, but she would kind of organize her scraps in color families, and then when you hold the 7 together and crochet with it, it creates this really cool tweedy effect. And basically you really can use it as a scrap buster, because if you get to the end of one little ball of yarn, I mean, you want to keep your 7 strands, but you just attach another one. You tie a knot and then you stitch over the tails and it just gets incorporated. So I was like immediately intrigued, and so I actually started two. I did the one and I was really enjoying it, and decided to start another one, and I have actually, I think I'm going to make a third. So the first one I was using, well, here, let me show you. This is my start on it. And this is the bottom. But see how it makes like this tweed sort of look? And I think that's really, really cool. And again, you can use, it doesn't matter the weight of the yarn. It doesn't matter the fiber content. So, in fact, I think it's probably good to vary, because if you have both acrylic yarn and cotton yarn, the cotton yarn is going to give it a strength, and the acrylic yarn is going to give it a softness. I think it's cool. So for this first one, what I used, or what I'm using, I have this homespun. This is the homespun that I had that I said didn't match any of the other ones, and so I'm using that. And then along with that, when I first ordered all of my Caron Simply Soft, before I kind of knew exactly what I was doing as far as my colors and stuff, I ordered this blue and ended up not using it in my temperature blanket, so I had that. And then I had this Ferris wheel. This is actually what I used for the gift that I made for Logan, the giant D20 with plastic canvas. This is what I used. Again, this is just one thing that I bought when I first started buying yarns that I thought was pretty. But what I'm going to do with one ball, well, this. And because this is sort of already a variegated floss, it will variegate as it's going through the basket, which I think is pretty cool. And then I had a couple balls of this. This is a Amir Home cotton. It's just kind of a variegated purple cotton. I made my scrunchie out of this, but I had like 3 balls of this. So I had 2 intact balls and 1 that was used. So I already used up the used one, and I'm on the second ball of this. And then, as I said, I got a bunch of, sets of little acrylic bonbons or whatever. And so I have a couple different like maroony, different maroon colors. And since they don't have to be the same, when I used one and when I ran out of that one. So the first one was a little bit darker than this. It was more wine color, and this is more like a mulberry maybe. But anyway, I just tied it on and kept going. I'm using a size 7 or 7mm needle or hook. And again, I already turned it, so now I just need to make it as tall as I want. I think the pattern calls for 21 rows. This is like, what, 2? I think that this is a little bit smaller than the original pattern because she used 7 strands and this is, what, 5 strands? Yeah. And I can tell that because the other one that I started, I'm using 6 strands, and I can tell already it's bigger because I'm not sure that this hook is quite big enough. I might, if I keep having difficulty, I might need to go up a hook size for the next one. But, so this is the beginning of this basket. I just think it's such a cool idea to use these these multiple different yarns and put them all together and create your own tweedy sort of yarn. So this is the second one that I started. So sort of a green colorway. And so what I've got in this one is the 4th ball of this homespun that I got for this my triangle blanket. I only needed 3, but I bought 4 because it was like a buy 4 and it was a much cheaper price. Something like that. Or I needed to spend, I don't know why, but there was a reason that I got an extra one. So I had an extra one, so I'm using that. another Ferris wheel. No, this isn't Ferris wheel. This is Mandala Ombre. I'm pulling from the center, so I'm going to have that green and then like teal and then blue. If I get to like the purple and the pink, I think I might cut that out and wind it up and use it in a different one. Because I don't think I want those colors in this particular one, but I'm going to do another one with like pinks and peaches. I already have that in my brain. Okay, so this is the Ferris wheel that I had, and I was using this for my strawberry blanket scarf that I started, that I've decided to tear apart because I don't like how I started it, but I did like the stitch, so that kind of led into my ideas for my temperature blanket for next year. But in any case, I have this green Ferris wheel. I decided to throw in this purple Caron Simply Soft. This is actually my color for the 50 to 54. Like I said, I've used it once or twice in the temperature blanket so far this year. Now, obviously in December it could get cold again, but I'm not going to use up this whole skein in this basket, so I decided to go ahead and steal this from the temperature blanket project temporarily. And then I have, again, some little balls. They can all be used together. These are some more of the maroony type ones for the other basket. And then I have this, which came off of this, and I can't remember what this is. Oh, here, I have a tag in here. This is Lion Brand Sparkle. It's called Sparkle. So, yeah. And it does have a little gold thread in it, so that there is a little tiny bit of a metallic in there. I don't know if you can see it just from the little thing, but anyway, so I was just enjoying the heck out of this yesterday. So I am looking forward to working on those some more. Now, just as an aside, if you did something like this, maybe not, this is 6 strands, so this is a little bit thick, but like the 5-strand one, the other one, I mean, if you want to make a set of coasters, wouldn't that be cool as just like a set of little coasters? I mean, and how easy. Because basically this is, you know, you chain 2, and then you go into this, the second from the hook, and you do, it's all single crochet. You do 8 single crochets in the one hole, and then you go around and you do 2 single crochets in each single crochet from the round before, and then you do 2 single crochets and 1 and 1, and then 2 single crochets and 1 and 1 and 1, and you know, and then I think round 8 she has you do just a single crochet all the way around to help it keep it from curling, and you go up to 10 if you want a small basket. I think you go up to 17 or something if you want her big market basket. But anyway, Maggie, what you doing over there? You getting into trouble? So yes, so I am definitely a crochet basket case, and I am not sad about it. So I'm really enjoying doing those, and you know, there's something about the crochet. I was talking to my friend about this last weekend because she kind of, I don't know if I inspired her or whatever, she started kind of learning or teaching herself to crochet again or something. I can't remember. I don't know that she crocheted before. Her mom did. And she had a specific idea of what she wanted to make, because her mom used to make these crocheted tops to like dishcloths, and she kind of wanted to, she had some from her mom from years and years and years and years ago, and they're getting, you know, pretty raggedy, and she wanted to replace them, partly because she just likes them, and partly kind of as an homage to her mother. And so I guess I encouraged her to start learning how to crochet, so she started learning. she learns craft stuff very differently than I do. And she was like, not giving me a hard time, but she's like, I just don't learn as fast as you, and you know, blah, blah, blah. I have to say, I mean, there's something about crochet that just, between my head and my hands, it makes sense. So, not that I'm an expert by any means, not that I'm that great. I mean, I'm sure you look at any of my projects and they're riddled with mistakes. I don't care. I still am enjoying the heck out of it. So anyway, I'm going to keep working on those baskets this week, and you know, you'll see next week how far I got. Okay. Pretty peaceful. I wrote it down. That was smart of me. Okay, so the channel that I saw these market baskets on is Pretty Peaceful. She does a full-on tutorial. Basically, the whole bottom, she stitches it on camera. You can see her whole process. Again, she uses 7 strands. On the 2 that I've started, I have 5 strands on one and 6 strands on the other. So, the 5 strand is a little bit more comfortable. I mean, I like the 5 strand because it's definitely strong enough, and it is a little bit easier. Even watching her, the 7 strands looks like it would hurt your hands a little bit. So I don't know if I'd ever want to go actually up to the 7 strands like she does, but what I'm doing so far, I've enjoyed. Okay, so that's it for the crochet. Until we get to haul, I do have a couple crochet things to show you that I got. So on to stitching, and I have a finish. Yes, I didn't stitch that much this well. I have like 4 projects that I stitched on this week, but one of them was a finish. So again, speaking of my friend Tracy, it is the hummingbirds that I finished. And it needs to be ironed, of course, but ta-da! So cute, look at them. Look at the big baggy hair on it. Okay. Yeah, I think it looks really good. So I got my little boy hummingbird in. This is a ruby-throated hummingbird. They are native to Pittsburgh, where Tracy lives. And the flowers are just sort of, they're representing the honeysuckle that's in her backyard. So she sent me pictures and I changed the colors to try and make it represent what's in her yard a little bit more. But the birds are from Crosswing Collection. Well, actually the whole thing is. But these 2 birds were not with this flower. So it was kind of like 2 different charts and I mixed and matched. But I do really like it. So it was exciting to get a finish this week. I wasn't totally expecting to get a finish actually, but when I was home waiting for the maintenance guy to come, I pulled it out and then I was like, well, you know what? I just have to finish a little bit. I had to finish some on the flowers and then I had to do the boy bird. And you know, by the evening when I was working on the boy bird, I'm like, I'm finishing this. Also, I should show you this in haul, but since I have it out, I did get these rings. I needed a bigger one for this project, so I got those to finish it. Fully finish it, I should say. Okay, then I worked on 3 other projects this week. I worked on When Life Gives You Lemons. I'm a Congdon. This is from Cross Stitch for the Soul. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I am stitching this on, a piece of fabric. This was red fabric that I bleached. I guess I didn't dye it. I bleached it. And this is how it turned out. and I like it. It's a little different, but I like it. Now I have another piece of haul to show you. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I thought if it does work, it will be really cute. So I got, this is a cutting board. This is a plastic cutting board. I have, as my cutting boards, I have two that look like this. I have an orange and I have an apple. So I figured if it doesn't work, then I just have a new cutting board. But I thought this lemon is really cute. And if once this is stitched, if it fits, it may have to be sort of, I don't want to say fussy cut, but it might need to be, you know, shaped. I think it'd be really cute mounted on this lemon. So I don't know exactly if it's gonna fit yet. I kind of guesstimated. So we'll see. It may not work, but if it does work, I think it's gonna be really cute. So, you know, I got a $10 cutting board with the intention of using it as a finishing piece, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's fine. Okay, I worked on my Crosswing collection, Dimensions Gold collection, Wind Moon Fairy. I'm doing this fully with all the kit stuff. I basically just worked in this area. So I think I actually worked on her arm, but I was just filling in it still doesn't really look like much, but the potential is there. And then last but not least, I worked on my black pearl by the Primitive Hair. So I'm getting close. I used the words at the top, and then all of the little, there's little trendy bits everywhere. Just have to finish a little bit left in her tail, and then pearl at the bottom, and a little bit more border. This border is brought down all the way so far, I think. Oh, there may be a few more stitches on this side. But then it, like, there's a skip, and then it picks up. And that is it. That is all of my projects for the week. I did have some haul. I showed you already the cutting board and the hoops. I also got a set of blocking mats for crochet. Not very exciting, but I just got a set of blocking mats. Because I want to make granny squares. I kind of want to make some like bags and stuff. Kind of goes along with the whole baskets thing. I like bags and baskets, so I want to sort of experiment with some granny squares. So one of the things that caught my eye, and I don't know actually if once I got the book and looked at it if I love it, but it does give me some ideas. But I got this granny square, 3D granny squares, And there's like 100 patterns in here, and I really like maybe 10. So yeah, actually I got 2 books, I have to say. I got this book, and then there's another one, a small one, called 3D Gardening Square Animals, and I was really kind of annoyed because all of the animals are in this book. So but I thought it was like an addendum, like an extra. No, it's everything that's in that other smaller book is also in this book. So I'm gonna bring it with me today. I know Julie's mom crochets, so I'm gonna see if she thinks her mom might be interested in having it. If not, I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll have to figure out somebody who might want it crochet. But the ones on the cover are super cute. Like, I love the sheep, and I like that kiwi. But there's a bunch of animals, there's like fruits, the flowers are kind of pretty. So that would be something that I would like to learn how to make. But yeah, I just got it from Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. It was like $15, I think. Actually, it was less than that, but anyway. Yeah. So I got that book. And then I got a pom-pom maker. Very, very inexpensive, like $4 or $5. Again, have ideas brewing on like what I'm gonna do with my temperature blanket, and you know, this is another one of those little gadgets like I showed you last week with the French knitting thing. When I was a kid, I used to do French knitting with a wooden spool and 4 nails. I know I sound like, you know, when I was a kid, but it's true. That's how we did it back then. And I used to make pom-poms all the time with like cardboard, and you know, I cut a circle or 2 circles and then wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap, and then cut them apart. But the thing that's nice about this is when I used to make those circles when I was a kid, you'd have to like have your yarn ball small enough so it could go through the hole. And these, you don't have to worry about that because you actually wrap them kind of like in 2 parts. So you wrap it like this, you wrap this side, and then you put them together, and you can tie your tie and then separate them. So that is a little nice little convenient addition to the pom-pom from the way I used to make them when I was a kid. Okay, so the other thing that I got was this set of, I think even online they're called fairy crochet hooks, and you can get this pastel set like I got, or they have them in all black. But so I definitely, you don't need sets and sets and sets of crochet hooks, of course not. But you know, I saw these again. They were inexpensive. They were under $10. And aside from the fact that they're just really super cute, I was interested in them because they're long, and they got mixed reviews. I saw these reviewed on a YouTube channel of a crocheter who has done like 3 or 4 videos of like crochet tools, and I'll try them out so you don't have to, kind of thing. And she tried them out and she really liked them. In the reviews of them online, I would say it was like half and half. Like half the people were like, these are really great, I love them. And the other half of the people were like, they're too flexible. Because this part is a little bit flexible. So some people were like, I don't like that, they're too flexible. They don't like that. But the reason that I was intrigued by them, aside from the fact that they're like so cute, is because I stitch, I use a knife hold. So the difference is there's two types of crochet, and I don't know, I think it just depends on how you naturally just start it. I can do it the other way. I can do a few stitches, but it feels completely uncomfortable. And I find when I crochet, so there's the knife hook and the knife grip and pencil grip. I find if I do pencil grip, I'm doing a lot more with this hand. It's like I'm moving the yarn with this hand and holding the hook steady. Whereas when I'm doing the knife grip, which I'm more comfortable with, I'm using my right hand and the hook to do most of the stuff, and the yarn, like my hook goes to the yarn instead of the yarn coming to my hook. I don't know if that makes any sense. So the difference is obviously pencil grip, you hold the crochet hook like a pencil. I don't know if these would work for somebody that holds it like a pencil because I think they'd be upside down. But also, like whenever I'm watching somebody crochet like in a YouTube video and it looks weird to me, I realize it's because they're doing pencil grip and it looks weird to me. So I do a knife grip, which is like this, which these are nice because it has like a little thumb rest, which is good when you use the knife grip, like it fits good. The thing that I really liked about them is the fact that they're so long. So if you do a pencil grip, you're holding it like this and the hook is coming out the top of your hand like this. When you do a knife grip, you're holding it like this and the hook is going in your palm. When the hook is shorter, like a typical hook, like this, right? These also have like a, okay. So I'll hold it like this. This part, if they're shorter like this, it can start rubbing on the inside of my palm and it can irritate me. Now I tend to add things like, I bought this. I use this when this one is for my temperature blanket. I really like this tool. It makes me hold it instead of such a hard grip. I tend to hold it like this, which is, you know, it's good. My hands are in different positions using different hooks, which I think is good for my hand health. For the triangle blanket, I put 2 of these pencil grippy things on, again. So this stops it from poking into my hand and irritating. But these work better on the thicker hooks, like the smaller hooks that are thinner. These don't fit. And I have to like use rubber bands and do things to try and get it to stay. So that's one of the things that I was intrigued with these, to try them out. And again, of course, it's gonna matter like how well the thread glides over the head and everything, because if these are not smooth, it can catch your yarn, and that's annoying. But the thing that did intrigue me is that they are long enough that they're not gonna irritate the inside of my hand because they stick out far enough. So I haven't used these yet. And they only go up to a 6mm. But again, with the bigger hooks, I have the option of putting, you know, like the grips on them and stuff. So yeah, so I'm really intrigued to try these because they might work really well as far as comfort. And again, they are a little bit flexible. I don't know if that is going to be a problem. Right now, I don't think so, but I don't know. So anyway, so I decided to try them. Again, they were like $10. It was 9 something on Amazon. They took a little bit longer to get to me than a normal Amazon order, but and honestly, they're just really cute. So yeah. And you know, if you're not into the pastel, you can get a set that's all black. So yeah, I'm actually really intrigued to try these. And again, the length of the thing, you know, aside from the cuteness factor, but the length of them is really what kind of drew me to them. You know, I showed you guys recently, I got 2 sets of different, you know, different to me crochet hooks to try out. I got the Prim, can't remember what they're called, Prim something, which are these plastic ones. They're not resin really, they're plastic, but some people don't like plastic because, now these are definitely lighter than the metal crochet hooks. I've used them in all of the cotton hair things that I've done recently, and I like them for that. They don't have the numbers on them, so I actually just wrote them in marker. So I have liked those. The other set that I got, I haven't really tried yet. Where are they? These are kind of a dupe, if you will, for like, I think the tulip, like the flat. So these have a flat grip. Again, it's all to have different grips or different shaft grips, you know, for most comfort. Now these are long enough, they don't really poke, so these could work. I haven't really used these, but again, they only go up to 6. So I think, wait, yeah, they only go up to 6mm. So I haven't really used those. I haven't tried those out yet, but the metal, now these are not Susan Bates, they're just generic metal ones. I think I have a couple Susan Bates in here that I had from before. I don't even know why I had them, but yeah, like this one. This one's a Susan Bates. I think I got a small set, like when I started stitching, to use for like other things, you know, to help pull yarn through. But yeah. So, you know, I'm having fun experimenting with different hooks and stuff and seeing what works and what maybe isn't worth the money. I haven't gotten any really that were that expensive. The Prim ones were the most expensive, and those were like under 20 for 6 of them. But so far I think I'm set. I'm good. I tend to pull out a hook and kind of keep it with the project and use it for that project. I did have somebody comment on when I got some of these hooks that she's in her 70s. She's been crocheting for like, you know, 60 something years, and she still has the same, you know, size 4 green plastic crochet hook that she's used that entire time, and that's all she uses, and that's what she loves. And you know what, that's great and definitely economical. You know, you don't need a ton of different sets of crochet hooks. You absolutely do not. But you know, as this is a new hobby for me, I don't think it's necessarily a problem. I just looked over here and there's a crochet hook sitting in my pencil tray. I don't think it's a problem to try out different ones and see what works best for you. Like these, again, okay, see, they're shorter, and they're gonna end up poking me in my hand here, and that's gonna end up hurting after a while. So these are a little bit short for me, I think. So that's why I'm liking the idea of ones that are a little bit longer, because it can start getting irritating, you know, when something's poking you in the same spot over and over and over again. Okay, I think that's about it. Hopefully my video will upload quickly today so that I can get it all uploaded before I have to leave for lunch. Plans, more of the same. You know, work on these baskets, which I'm totally enjoying. Stitching wise, maybe finish Black Pearl this week, maybe. I do have a goal to try and get it done in July. If not, it'll definitely get done before the end of the year, but it would be cool if I got it done sooner rather than later. And then next week, you know, I probably won't be stitching on Wednesday or crocheting because I'll be playing D&D, and who knows, you know. So I have my nights where I just don't feel like doing anything, and I'm playing games on my computer, on my phone all night. But other than that, I'm gonna just keep going with all the projects that I have showed you today. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. Let me know what you think of my projects. If you have any suggestions or comments, I would love to read them. And until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.